Hello fellow Gwent players, here's a little video I wanted to do before the next patch hits us. Now what's special with the next patch is that leader abilities and leader skins are going to be separated. Now for those who don't understand what that means, let's give it a little example. Francesca's current ability called Mystic Echo is in the next patch playable with Eithne's leader skin. Now before I start the list, I want to tell you about the criteria for ranking all of these leaders. Now the first of these criteria was the leader design. Now that does not count in the card art, but only the 3D model. The second criteria was the leader's entrance, how he enters the battlefield, what is the vibe that he gives you when he enters the battlefield. The third criteria was the leader animation that happens when you click on the leader. The fourth criteria was the animation that happens when you win the game. And same with the fifth is the animation that happens when you lose the game. And the last criteria is emotes, which is actually kind of an important one and has saved a lot of these leaders out of a low spot in this list. So let's just jump straight into this. Number 36, Ardle. Now the problem I have with Ardle is his lazy design. His lazy design limits his animations and therefore gives him no real identity. He has no weapon in his hand, he just has his hands to use for his animations all the time, and that gets really boring really quickly. Now his emotes had to be incredibly good to save him from this last place spot, which they were not. So Ardle, I'm sorry, but you are the worst leader skin. Number 35, Henselt. Now the only reason that he is not last place is because of his design, which is a little bit better than Ardle because he gets a crossbow. And his last animation is actually kind of funny because he just spits on the ground and kicks the spit away. That kind of made him a little bit better than Ardle, but wasn't really enough to keep him at any higher spots. Number 34, Iced Turisek. Now the only thing unique in Iced's design is that he sits down, which doesn't really help him a lot because the rest of his design is a bit boring. And everything else from animation to emotes it's just below average, honestly. Number 33, Morvran Vorhis. Now Morvran Vorhis has probably the best emotes in the game. For example,
forgive me, but I must destroy you.
Another one would be...
Is that a jest, friend?
Now, if he did not have those emotes, he would probably share last place with Ardle because his design is very colorless and his animations are also pretty lackluster, to say the least. Number 32. Sigismund Dijkstra. Now what I like about Dijkstra is that in his leader animation, you see him pulling out a sword out of his walking stick, which is kind of a nice little detail, as well as his "you're going down" emote is pretty damn funny.
As they say in Beauclair, I'll rip your ass some new ventilation.
But other than that, he doesn't really stand out too much. He's just a thick guy with a stick. That's also a sword. And that's really it. Number 31, Crack on Crate. Now Crack on Crate is such a one-dimensional character that I had to give him both a spear and a sword to make him a bit interesting, but it didn't really help him out at all. Because most of his leader abilities, they're just so bland and boring and just so uninteresting that I had to just put him at the very lower half of this list. Number 30. Now above Crack is Meve. Now Meve is a bit better than Crack because of her very good design. Now while it's all golden, she does have a bit of uniqueness to her, which gives her a bit of a step above Crack, but isn't enough to keep her on the upper half of this list. Number 29, Jan Calvit. Now Jan Calvit, of all the leader animations, his is by far the worst. Other than that, he's alright, I guess, but just not enough. Number 28, Demavent. Now Demavent gives across really chill vibes actually, with the grapes in his hand always, even if he throws them away when he loses. You just get these vibes from him that make you maybe relax a little bit while playing Gwent, which, you know, kind of helps sometimes. Number 27. King of Beggars. King of Beggars has absolutely no fashion sense at all, but his characteristics and animation do portray a sort of coolness to his character, but that at the same time is his downfall because some of the animations that he has come across really, really lazy. Number 26. Brewer Hook, the first Scoia'tael card in this list. Now, Brewer Hook's design is very cute. He feels like a cuddly toy, which you just want to cuddle with.
Now you're in it tits deep.
Until he starts talking, of course. Number 25. Hemmelfart. Now, Hemmelfart is a thick boy with arguably the best losing animation in the game, which can definitely help you in certain instances to move on to the next game. His leader animation's also pretty cool with the fire flashing, but other than that, he's a bit too fat to be moving a lot, which gives him very little dynamic. Number 24. Usurper. Now this might come to a surprise to some because Usurper doesn't actually have a leader animation, but Usurper has a really intimidating design added with some great losing and winning animations, especially the winning one where he puts on the crown that he just had hanging out of his pockets. And those little details really help his character portrayal and give you an idea of what sort of person he is, without even having to say anything. And his emotes are also pretty decent. Number 23. Emir. Now Emir portrays pure arrogance, and I really like how they made his animations make the arrogance stand out without the emotes. The emotes also really help portraying his arrogance.
Careful, you do not want me to lose patience.
Alright, I'll move on. Number 22. Ada. Ada definitely has the best design of Northern Realms, but apart from the sounds in her animations, the animations themselves seem very, very dull. And the very dull animations are also showcased in the emotes, because those are just as dull as the animations. Number 21. Eithne. Now Eithne blends in perfectly with the Scoia'tael board, which is why I really like her design. But her animations really do lack expression most of the times. And she does tend to talk a lot about Broccolon.
Broccolon reward you for that. Bow before the
Broccolon
reward you for that.
Number 20. Eldain. Now Eldain is very similar to Eithne with the bow and the arrow, but he makes up for the lack of expression by kicking his bow when he loses. Nice! Number 19. Cleaver. The better of the two dwarves, but this one doesn't look as cute as Brewer, rather he looks actually kind of intimidating. And his emotes can also be very insulting.
Oh, wait, were you being serious?
Number 18. Bran Turasak. Now this man loves his alcohol and his emotes. Things like
Just what do you think you're doing?
and
Hey, taking a nap?
are definitely among my favorites in the game. Number 17. Philavandrel. From the way he dresses to the way he swings his sword. I mean, this guy just screams pure fanciness. Now he'd definitely be higher if I knew what he was saying.
Mira Kespar enter. Aitra Gwen.
Number 16. Harold the Cripple. I mean, this guy is a pure savage. From the arrows still left on his shield, or the hyper animations that he always has, to one of his most famous emotes, which you can always use for sure.
Look alive, it's raiding time.
Number 15. Arrakis Queen. After 21 spots, we finally have a monster leader. But I mean, Monsters just has the upper hand when it comes to design. Even though she's not an Arrakis Queen, she's an Arrakis Behemoth. Apart from that, her animations are pretty sweet, and I have no idea what she is saying. Sounds just like my wife, right? I'm so lonely. Number 14. Calanthe. That falcon on her arm is a real badass, and he does not hang around with losers. Although I do feel kind of sorry for her when that happens. Number 13. Whoreson Jr. Violent, provocative, and he turns into a baby when he loses. I mean, this guy is just a pure gamer. Number 12. Anna Henrietta. Now, Anna Henrietta is the top of the Nilfgaard leaders, and she's not even in the top 10. But to be fair, all of the Nilfgaard leaders are very similar to each other. But out of all of them, I would say that Anna Henrietta is the most unique. And that's not because she's a woman, but because she has a fan. Yeah, that's the best I could come up with, honestly. Number 11. Woodland Spirit, just shy of the top 10. I mean, his design is great, his animations are pretty cool, except his leader animation, where it looks like he's taking a poop in the middle of battle. I mean, what are you doing, man? We're fighting a battle and you're taking a dump? That's why you don't deserve the top 10. Number 10. Sval Blood. Now I know that his textures are pretty terrible, but that doesn't take away that he can summon lightning. Like, I don't understand what he's saying when he does his emotes. I'll just nod. I mean, the guy can summon lightning, for God's sakes. What else am I supposed to do? Number 9. Francesca. Not only are her animations flashy, not only do her emotes sting quite a bit.
Well, you are only human.
Oof. Pretty good. But she has something that the previous 27 leaders do not have. Nah. Can't argue with that. Number 8. Gurney Corer. Now tell me, what's better than a pair of titties? 3 pairs of titties. And when you win, Gurney Corer flashes those pairs to the opponent. I mean, that's just a win-win situation. Number 7. Foltest.
This I like!
Gotta agree with that. Now, NR just slightly misses out on the top 5, but NR can definitely be proud to even get this far thanks to Foltest, who just loves life. This is him when he loses. This is him when he wins. I mean, the guy's a complete mad lad. Number 6. Unseen Elder. Great design, great animations, his emotes sound like he's constantly constipated. I mean, what else do I gotta give to you?
Offering accepted.
He's sold. Number 5. Dana. I mean, Dana just flexes on opponents by just constantly floating around. Sometimes she even spins around, sometimes she shows off some flashing lights. She only goes back on her feet after the battle is over. That's even if she wins or loses. But yeah, it's a fantastic leader skin, even though most of her emotes are just gibberish. Bless you. Number 4. Detlaf. Now what I like about his leader skin is the fact that his face changes sometimes into a more beastly look because he's a vampire. And not only that, the animations in which the face changes are really deadly. Number 3. Alright, we're now at the top 3 spot, and every single one of these leader skins can be proud of themselves. The first one of which is Arnjolf. I mean, this guy probably took every drug that exists in the Witcher universe, but he gives off such an energetic vibe through his emotes like...
Your mum were a gerbil, and your pa reeked the sour plums.
and his animations are always super hyper. So you just want to keep playing with him over and over again, even if you lose the battle or win the battle. The guy is just crazy, and you gotta love that about him. Number 2. Missing out on number 1, but still very deserved of a number 2 place is Gudrun. And I don't like using this word, but she's just awesome, man. The moment she enters the field, you know it's going down. Her hook is a menace to anyone entering the field and exiting it, even herself sometimes. She is officially best girl in Gwent. Congratulations, Gudrun. You did it. You goddamn did it. You crazy woman. Number 1. Eridan. I mean, he's just a boss. His design, boss. His animations, boss. When he wins, boss. Even when he loses, boss. And his emotes.
You would make a good slave.
Boss. He wasn't just good in all of the criterias that I set out for him. He was the best in most of them, actually. And that is why he deserves to be called the best leader skin in Gwent. Alright, and that wraps up the list. As with every list, I have to say, this is just my opinion, and if you disagree with it, you're wrong. And even if that's the case, I still hope you did enjoy the video. If you did, please leave a like, subscribe for more Gwent content, and I'll see you soon.